We're here with number 14, Lou Piniella. Lou, when you see that picture, what does that remind you of?
That reminds me of my high school days at Tampa Jesuit High School. I like that crew cut, by the way. It was my favorite haircut when I was young.
You know, Lou, a lot of guys don't understand that you played for the Washington Senators, that you played in the rookie ball and with the Seattle Pilots.
I played for quite a few teams before I got to the big leagues for good with Kansas City in 1969, and I was the Rookie of the Year. I was the oldest Rookie of the Year in the American League. I'm glad that I managed Ichiro in Seattle because he took over as the oldest Rookie of the Year. But yeah, I played for quite a few teams in the minor leagues before.
That was the Portland Beavers.
Yeah,
time at the Portland Beavers.
I played 3 years over there in Portland. I thought my last year in Portland I was ready to play in the big leagues, but the Cleveland Indians spelled differently, and I got chosen in the expansion draft. And finally, because of expansion, the Kansas City Royals gave me an opportunity. I was able to forge a 17 or 18-year major league career.
Lou, you know, a lot of people talk about the changes of the game. Do you think that nowadays the rookies are not, they don't go through their chain of command process? I mean, you get a guy like, I saw a couple of weeks ago, Juan Soto just brought up arguing with the umpires. That would have never happened in your time when you, as a rookie.
Well, the umpires were a little more forceful then, and there were more veteran umpires, and and one thing that you didn't do was argue with the crew chief at all. The crew chief you didn't argue with. But listen, the game has changed, and you have to adapt to it. These kids that play today are big and strong, and they're very talented, and the game has changed from a strategy standpoint. Pitchers not throwing as many pitches, more relievers in the game. At the same time, the hitters hitting the more for power as opposed to hitting the ball behind the runner and bunting and hitting and running and those sort of things. But look, the game is prospering. It's good.
You know, with the offense being down, why doesn't, you were a hitting coach, how come a lot of the guys don't implement that Charlie Lau style of hitting, of trying to, now we're talking about elevating the ball. Why not go to all field?
Hey, listen, I agree. I heard an amazing statistic. The first 2 months of this year, there were more strikeouts and base hits at the big league level, and that's unbelievable. I don't think the hitters today care as much about striking out as when we played. Now they just want to launch the ball, and they swing up for power. And, the parks are a little smaller. This park here is much smaller than the park I played in with the Yankees in the 70s and 80s. So, yeah, it used to be huge. But listen, the game has changed, and not only here in New York, it's been all over the place. But, the game is prospering, the people are coming out, and it's a good game.
Thank you for your time.
Yeah, thank you.